GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action. Live from the GMNA News Center, this is the Lunch Break News Hour.
Good afternoon, I'm CJ Waterhouse. The World Press Photo Exhibition is lighting up the Marché Bonsecours here in Montreal, while Premier Freychet prepares to dissolve the legislature and call an election. Expect moderate traffic from tunnel work, and tonight's partial lunar eclipse will be visible this evening. Over to you, Jeff.
The GMNA gift shop just opened, tiny but mighty, featuring only 2 mugs right now, yes, just 2, powered by quick e-com, and it's already buzzing.
If you crave official GMNA merch, swing by shop.gmna.ca. 2 mugs now, but more designs are on the way, promise.
I'm already picturing the line, just 2 mugs, a single coffee lover, and a very exclusive club that anyone can join by ordering online through quick e-com.
Our tiny shop may have only 2 mugs, but it's a reminder that big ideas start small, so lots to get to. Let's begin. Here are our top stories.
The World Press Photo Exhibition, featuring award-winning photojournalism, is on view at the historic Marché Bonsecours in Montreal and will remain open until 12 October 2026. Matthew Lachance has the full story.
Visitors can wander through the historic Marché Bonsecours to see the World Press Photo Exhibition, a collection of award-winning photojournalism from around the globe. The show, curated by the Dutch agency that runs the annual competition, features images that captured pivotal moments in recent history, from conflict zones to climate events. Each photograph is displayed alongside a brief caption that explains the context and the photographer's intent. The exhibition remains open to the public until 12 October 2026, offering free admission on weekend afternoons. Curators say the venue's vaulted ceilings and stone facade add a striking backdrop to the powerful visual stories on view. Matthew Lachance, GMNA News, Bonsecours.
Premier Christine Freychet will ask the dissolution of Quebec's National Assembly today, ending the current term and launching the provincial election campaign set for August 27, 2026 at 10:30 a.m. Matthew Lachance has the full story.
Premier Christine Freychet announced she will formally request the dissolution of Quebec's National Assembly at 10:30 a.m. this morning, effectively ending the current legislative term. The move triggers the start of the provincial election campaign, setting the stage for a new government to be chosen later this year. Party leaders are already mobilizing their campaign teams, while the opposition prepares to contest the upcoming vote. The dissolution will clear the way for a full slate of candidates to file their papers in the weeks ahead, and for voters across the province to hear the issues that will shape the next 4 years. Election officials have confirmed the campaign period will run for 57 days, giving parties time to present their platforms to the electorate. Matthew Lachance, GMNA News, Montreal.
La Salle College has entered creditor protection, halting all classes and prompting student protests amid a dispute with the Quebec government. The situation remains unresolved, affecting hundreds of students. Ramai Gaudreau has the full story.
After filing for creditor protection this month, La Salle College announced an immediate suspension of all classes, leaving hundreds of students suddenly without instruction. The move sparked a protest on campus, where students gathered with signs demanding that they not be treated as bargaining chips in the ongoing dispute with the Quebec government. Administrators say the protection filing was necessary to preserve the institution's finances, but the abrupt halt to teaching has forced students to pause their studies while the legal wrangling continues. Classes across every program were halted, and many worry their graduation timelines will be pushed back. The Student Council has called for a meeting with college officials to discuss solutions. Ramai Gaudreau, GMNA News, La Salle.
Montreal police have arrested a 35-year-old man and a 33-year-old woman after dismantling a drug laboratory inside a Griffintown condominium. The operation is part of the city's ongoing fight against illicit manufacturing. Matthew Lachance has the full story.
Police moved in on a Griffintown high-rise Tuesday, seizing a makeshift laboratory hidden behind a kitchen wall. Officers found a network of glassware, chemicals, and several pounds of processed product before taking 2 suspects into custody. The man 35 and a woman 33 were arrested on the spot and booked on charges related to illicit drug manufacturing. Neighbors reported a strong chemical odor days before, prompting a welfare check that turned into a full raid. Investigators say the lab was part of a broader operation targeting street-level distribution across the city. Police will keep the unit sealed while forensic teams catalog the evidence and check for safety hazards. Matthew Lachance, GMNA News, Griffintown.
Former Saint Jean-Baptiste leader Maxime Laporte has declared his candidacy for the Parti Québécois in the l'Assomption riding, a district currently held by Premier François Legault. Nadia Bellafuel has the full story.
Maxime Laporte, who once headed the Montreal branch of the Société Saint Jean-Baptiste, stepped onto a downtown podium here in l'Assomption today and declared his intention to run for the Parti Québécois in the upcoming provincial election. He told a crowd of local supporters that his campaign will focus on protecting French language rights and bolstering regional economic development. The announcement comes as the riding is currently held by Premier François Legault, making the contest a direct challenge to the province's top political figure. Laporte's candidacy adds a new dynamic to what has been a closely watched race in this traditionally sovereigntist stronghold. The declaration was made on August 27, 2026, just weeks before parties finalized their nomination lists. Nadia Bellafuel, GMNA News, l'Assomption. From the airport to the legislature, we'll break down the Air Canada arrests and what the Premier's move means. We will be right back. Thinking about selling online, most people give up long before they ever get a store open. Quick.com changes that. Pick a template, add your products, and you are open for business. $10 a month, that is the whole price, no setup fees, and no cut of your sales. And there is the 10 on 10 guarantee. If you are not live in 10 minutes, your first month is on us. Mugs, apparel, crafts, coffee, if you can photograph it, you can sell it. Visit quickecom.com and open your store today. 10 minutes from now, you could be in business. I'm Tessa from GMNA Studios.
Welcome back. 2 Air Canada employees were taken into custody after a probe stemming from a May seizure of 62.5 kilograms of cocaine at Montreal Trudeau Airport. Ramai Gaudreau has the full story.
Authorities at Montreal Trudeau Airport seized a massive haul of cocaine hidden in checked luggage back in May. The seizure measured about 62.5 kilograms, prompting a federal investigation that continued through the summer. On August 26, police announced the arrest of 2 Air Canada employees who were implicated in the case. Both men were taken into custody at the airport after investigators linked them to the May operation. The arrests mark the latest development in a probe that began with the discovery of the drug concealed among passenger bags. Officials did not release further details about the suspects, roles, or the next steps in the investigation. Ramai Gaudreau, GMNA News, Trudeau Airport.
Quebec Solidaire is urging the provincial government to purchase school supplies, from duotangs to crayons, for families across the province, aiming to ease parental financial stress. Ramai Gaudreau has the full story.
Quebec Solidaire is pushing a new proposal that would have the provincial government directly purchase school supplies for families, including items like duotangs and crayons. The party says the move would lift the mental load from parents as they head back to class. Under the plan, the state would handle the procurement and distribution of these basics, aiming to make the start of the school year less stressful for households across the province. Officials from the party are urging Premier François Legault's government to adopt the measure before the upcoming budget discussions. They argue that taking on the cost of these essential items would free parents to focus on other childcare responsibilities. Ramai Gaudreau, GMNA News, Montreal.
Longtime NDP MP Alexander Boulris resigned his Montreal seat after 15 years to pursue a provincial candidacy in the upcoming Quebec election, having sat as an independent since earlier this year. Nadia Bellafuel has the full story.
Alexander Boulris, who has represented this riding for 15 years, stepped down from the House of Commons today, handing in his resignation to run as a candidate in the upcoming Quebec provincial election. He left the New Democratic Party caucus earlier this year, sitting as an independent for several months before confirming his intention to pursue a seat at the provincial level. Boulris's departure triggers a by-election in this Montreal constituency, leaving the federal NDP without its longest-serving MP from the city. The former finance critic said the decision reflects his desire to focus on Quebec issues directly, and he will join the provincial campaign as an independent candidate. Nadia Bellafuel, GMNA News, Plateau. Télé Quebec will debut its programming on Crave, Illico Plus and 2 TV Extra starting September 7th, expanding the public broadcaster's reach across 3 major subscription services. Ramai Gaudreau has the full story.
Starting this coming September 7th, Télé Quebec's lineup will appear on 3 major subscription services, Crave, Illico Plus and 2 TV Extra. The public broadcaster is adding its news, drama, and documentary series to the platforms, giving subscribers across the province fresh access to the network's French-language content. Viewers who already pay for Crave or Illico Plus will see the new channel slot appear in their menus, while 2 TV Extra will feature a dedicated Télé Quebec section. The rollout comes as the 3 services continue to vie for audience share in a crowded streaming market, and the move expands the reach of the provincial broadcaster beyond its traditional free-to-air channels. Ramai Gaudreau, GMNA News, Montreal.
Former Quebec Liberal leader Pablo Rodriguez says 2 investigations found no evidence of vote buying in his campaign, asserting he will be cleared after 6 months of scrutiny. Nadia Bellafuel has the full story.
2 separate probes into an alleged vote-buying scheme tied to his 2025 leadership bid have reportedly found no evidence against former Quebec Liberal leader Pablo Rodriguez. Rodriguez, who stepped down 6 months after winning the party's helm amid the investigations, told reporters the inquiries cleared him of any wrongdoing. The first investigation, launched shortly after the campaign, examined financial transactions and communications for signs of illicit ballot purchases. A second review, conducted by a different oversight body, reached the same conclusion, finding no proof that votes were bought or sold. Rodriguez said the findings vindicate his campaign and allow him to move forward without the cloud of suspicion that forced his resignation. Nadia Bellafuel, GMNA News, Quebec. Let's get a look at your afternoon forecast with our meteorologist right after this.
A weakening high gives way to a southerly jet, ushering an afternoon pulse of showers across Montreal. On this day, the all-time high reached 28.1 degrees Celsius in 2024, a late summer surge that broke a decade-long streak of mid-20s highs. The all-time low fell to 8.5 degrees Celsius in 2020, recorded during an unseasonal cold snap that followed a strong cold front from the north. By contrast, the climatological average for August 27th hovers near 22 degrees high and 17 low, so today's forecast sits comfortably between those extremes. Such extremes remind us that a single jet dip can flip the thermal balance in hours. The live radar shows a narrow band of moderate reflectivity marching eastward across the south shore of the St. Lawrence, just beyond the South Shore suburbs. It is moving at roughly 25 kilometers per hour, driven by the southerly jet. The cells will arrive over the island around 2 p.m., intensify through the evening, peak near 10 p.m., then dissipate as the upper-level flow shifts northward. At noon, the city sits under a clear sky with a temperature of 21 degrees and humidity near 80%. A near-average pressure system is beginning to fall, signaling an incoming disturbance that the jet stream, punching through at 67 kilometers per hour from the southwest, will feed. This upper-level support will steepen the thermal gradient, allowing showers to develop later this afternoon. The forecast calls for a high of 25 degrees, then a gentle cooling to 18 by nightfall. UV index sits at 5. Winds will gust up to 25 kilometers per hour from the south as the pressure drops. A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for the greater Montreal Island and surrounding municipalities, so remain alert for rapid changing conditions. Turning now to the 5-day outlook. The weekend begins Friday with a brisk high of 19 and a low of 12 under clear skies, as high pressure builds from the north and the jet lifts, keeping the air dry. Saturday warms to 22 with a 15 low. The sun stays dominant, but a few mid-level clouds hint at lingering moisture. Sunday, the jet dips south again, bringing a modest wave of lift that generates light rain and a 30% chance of showers, while temperatures rise to 24 and dip to 18. Monday returns to overcast conditions, the upper trough lingering and holding temperatures steady at 25 to 18. Tuesday repeats the Sunday pattern with another light rain chance and a slight climb to 26 during the day, before the trough finally retreats and a more settled flow is expected later in the week. And that's your weather. Remember, the lunch break is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic's still heavy with tunnel work, tonight's partial lunar eclipse lights the sky, and Good Food's creditor protection update. We will be right back. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news.
Major work in the Vidra Tunnel between Rue Panet and Boulevard Robert Bourassa is the biggest bottleneck this morning. All lanes are reduced, and drivers should expect queues extending back to Rue Panet, adding at least 15 minutes. Just to the north, the Ville Marie Tunnel between Boulevards Robert Bourassa and St. Laurent remains under renovation. Only 2 lanes are open, creating stops during peak flow. On Autoroute Ville Marie, roadwork at exit 5 for Rue Mansfield forces a detour onto Rue Mansfield, adding a few minutes for commuters heading downtown. Downtown Guy Street is narrowed around the Barry-Ucam Metro station, and the Louis-Hippolyte-Lafontaine Tunnel continues construction, slowing traffic on St. Laurent. The Metro Blue Line extension proceeds with no service interruptions, and the Papineau Street underpass near Rosemont Boulevard sees lane closures. Aside from these zones, the rest of the network moves freely. Expect lingering slowdowns in the tunnel corridors this afternoon, but main thoroughfares should stay clear.
Tonight a partial lunar eclipse will be visible over Montreal, casting a subtle shadow across the moon and giving the city a celestial show you won't want to miss. It's a perfect excuse to step outside, grab a coffee, and capture a sky-watching moment. Meanwhile at Time Out Market, a 1946 movie theater has been transformed into a Quebec microbrewery. Les Grands Boys is pouring a crisp Pilsener, a hazy NEIPA, and a fruity Belgian wit beer, making it the ideal spot for a quick lunch toast with coworkers. If you're in the mood for something more sit-down, Tavola Italiana is serving a complete Italian dinner at the same market. Think handmade pastas, seasonal sauces, and carefully selected wines, all designed to bring the joy of gathering around the table to downtown. All 3 events are happening right now, so you can choose a sky watch, a brew, or a full Italian feast for your Thursday break. And now here's Jason with sports.
Habs prospect Serge Caulfield dominates, and a blue liner lights up the draft board. Swedish winger Adam Engström cracks the Canadiens' top 25 under 25 at 12, after posting 5 goals and 27 points in 66 games this season. Drafted 92nd overall in 2022, his 2 full AHL seasons and NHL debut signal a rising depth forward who could earn a regular top 6 spot. Cole Caulfield remains the Habs' scoring engine, topping the league in goal frequency over the past 2 seasons. His relentless production cements him as Montreal's offensive cornerstone, forcing the front office to build around his line while balancing a tight salary cap and watching prospect Cooper Cleaves develop as the next right-handed sniper. Defenseman Bryce Pickford rockets to 13th on the Habs' under 25 list after a jaw-dropping season of 45 goals and 83 points in 55 games. As the sole blue liner among the CHL's top 10 goal scorers, he promises a high-octane offensive option for Montreal's future power play core. Keep an eye on those rising stars as the season approaches.
Thanks, Jason. Good Food, the Montreal-based meal kit pioneer headquartered in the heart of the city, is navigating a critical turning point. Yesterday, the Quebec Superior Court granted the company initial creditor protection, giving it a legal shield to restructure while it explores a sale or fresh investment. The move keeps the kitchen humming and protects roughly 230 jobs, ensuring families across the neighborhood still receive fresh, ready-to-cook meals. Good Food's commitment to local suppliers and its role in feeding busy Montrealers means the brand is woven into the daily rhythm of the community. As the company steadies its footing, the hope is that it will emerge stronger, continuing to support the city's culinary pulse. Up next, Pablo Rodriguez returns cleared and a tragic tree trimmer accident on a Hydro-Quebec line. Stay tuned for details. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news. Today, a 45-story mixed-use tower broke ground at 1250 René Lévesque West, promising hundreds of jobs and a new public plaza in the heart of downtown Montreal. The project could reshape the Ville-Marie skyline. Officials expect construction to start later this year. Carl Dumont is there. Carl Dumont.
Thanks, CJ Waterhouse. I'm standing on the polished concrete plaza outside the glass and steel podium at 1250 René Lévesque West, the buzz of downtown traffic blending with the rhythmic clank of steelworkers. A bright orange ribbon snakes around the freshly driven pilings, waiting for the ceremonial shovel. City officials, developers, and community leaders gather beneath a canopy of white tents, their badges catching the late summer sun. The mayor steps forward, voice echoing over the crowd, while a local school choir sings a hopeful anthem that drifts between the high-rise cranes. Workers in neon vests hand out hard hats, their faces a mix of pride and anticipation, as the first soil is turned, marking the start of a 45-story mixed-use tower that will add roughly 1,200 jobs and 500,000 square feet of space. This tower will reshape the skyline and create a new public plaza where families and neighbors can meet, turning concrete into community. Carl Dumont, virtually at 1250 René Lévesque West. Welcome back. Former Quebec Liberal leader Pablo Rodriguez, cleared by anti-corruption and elections authorities, gives his first interview since resigning in December 2025, urging Quebec society to learn from the violent episode. Nadia Bellafuel has the full story.
Rodriguez stands before a modest backdrop of the provincial legislature, his expression measured as he recounts the night his home was breached. He says the intrusion left his family shaken, describing the violence in stark detail while emphasizing that no one should endure such fear. After stepping down in December 2025 amid the scandal, he notes that both the Permanent Anti-Corruption Unit and the Elections Directorate have now cleared him of wrongdoing. He urges Quebecers to reflect on what happened, hoping the episode will prompt a broader conversation about safety and accountability. The former party leader's first public interview marks a clear break from the turmoil that led to his resignation. He concluded by thanking the audience for listening. Nadia Bellafuel, GMNA News, Montreal. A 27-year-old tree trimmer was electrocuted and killed after contacting a low-voltage Hydro-Quebec line while working in Montreal. Authorities are investigating the incident. Matthew Lachance has the full story.
At a residential block in Montreal, a 27-year-old tree trimmer was fatally shocked after his equipment brushed a low-voltage Hydro-Quebec line. The incident unfolded just after midnight on Wednesday, 26 August 2026, when the worker was pruning branches close to the overhead network. Emergency responders arrived quickly but pronounced him dead at the scene. The line was identified as a ground-level feeder serving nearby homes. Police and Hydro-Quebec's safety unit have opened an investigation to confirm whether standard shutdown procedures were followed, and the area was cordoned off while investigators examined the site. Hydro-Quebec officials confirmed the line was part of its low-voltage distribution system, a common feature in the city's tree trimming jobs. Matthew Lachance, GMNA News, Montreal.
Thanks, Montreal, for joining us on the lunch break. Tonight's look at the Montreal police dismantling a condo drug lab highlighted the city's commitment to safety. We appreciate your attention and look forward to bringing you more insight tomorrow. Stay tuned and have a great evening.